My Neighbor's Dog Has a Zipper by Christopher Maxim. At first, I didn't know what to think about it. My neighbor would stop to chat with me, leash in hand, and I would catch glimpses of the metal slider dangling from its belly. I assumed it was wearing a piece of pet clothing, or that perhaps it was the byproduct of some awkward veterinarian procedure. But the more we chatted and the more I saw this mystery zipper, the more I realized that it was out of the ordinary. It was clearly embedded in the dog's skin. It drew my attention every time we engaged in small talk, until finally one day, I decided to ask about it. Say, what is that zipper for on the little guy's belly anyway? Oh, that. It's a long story. I wouldn't want to bore you. Oh, I've got nothing but time. I wondered if she could see the beads of sweat forming on my brow. Really, it's nothing. It's just a safety measure. And that was that. She pretty much laughed it off, granting me little in the way of explanation. Thinking back, her responses were downright vague and deflective. She could see how curious I was, so why not just tell me? And what exactly did she mean by safety measure? As unfruitful as our conversation was, I didn't press the matter any further. Days, weeks, months went by. I would occasionally see the dog's strange cosmetic feature, but I brushed it off every time, knowing that it would only haunt me if I dwelt on it. Still, the thought itched in the back of my mind, and it wasn't until a few months had passed that I would finally have the nerve to scratch it. I was pulling up weeds along my fence when I looked over at my neighbor's place, noticing the dog lying on the back porch. A stray cat wandered by, as often happened in our neighborhood. Without so much as a warning growl or malicious stance, the dog trotted over to the cat and scarfed it down, the sound of sharp teeth colliding with bone. The cat screeched in agony until it was no more. In a minute flat, its entire body was devoured. I was in shock. The cat's cries alerted my neighbor to the situation. She raced outside, grabbed the dog by the collar, and pulled him into the house through the sliding door. It was tough to make out, but I swear that she unzipped him and reached inside, seemingly adjusting one of his organs. He didn't flinch, not even a bit. After pulling her arm out, the dog dropped to the floor, dead as a doornail from the looks of it. She then carried him outside and placed him on the back porch, arranging him in a sleeping position before getting in her car and leaving for the day. This 5-minute span of visual information was unlike anything I'd ever witnessed. Words like gruesome, strange, and horrific are too tame to describe what I saw. I was appalled beyond measure. After the shock wore off, I hopped the fence and approached the dog's carcass. I felt its neck. It was cold to the touch, and there was no pulse. I looked to the underside, and there it was, that godforsaken zipper in all of its mysterious glory. I felt kind of bad for the dog dying, but I had to know what that thing was there for. I needed an explanation not only for the dogs, but also my neighbor's odd behavior just moments ago. I slowly unzipped the dog's belly, placating my curiosity with the satisfying sound of metal sliding across metal. I spread each side of the opening with my hands and peered in, divulging the animal's inner workings. What I saw was absolutely dumbfounding. My neighbor's dog was animatronic. Well, this is certainly mysterious. I hope you've enjoyed this story. There will be more of it coming out tomorrow. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. And of course, be sure to check back tomorrow for part 2 of this story.